A very good morning to all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my absolute pleasure to welcome you all to today's market opening ceremony. Market opening ceremonies are organized here at the Colombo Stock Exchange trading floor in order to celebrate important business developments in the Sri Lankan capital market. The bell-ringing ceremony today celebrates the occasion of the listing of the shares of Kapruka Holding Limited on the Colombo Stock Exchange. What makes this occasion extra special is that Kapruka Holdings Limited marks the first equity IPO listing for the year 2022. The shares of Kapruka Holdings Limited will be listed on the main board of the Colombo Stock Exchange, and it will be classified under the retailing sector. As Sri Lanka's pioneer e-commerce enterprise, Kapruka Holdings Limited was founded in 2002. The company provides a highly profitable, a vastly distinct and differentiated non-market e-commerce business model with an in-house last-mile delivery system, serving both local and Sri Lankan clientele. The listing follows a successful initial public offering by the company, having an oversubscribed issue on the opening day itself. So, ladies and gentlemen, it goes without saying that Kapruka Holdings Limited is off to a great start. So as we congratulate the company on a triumphant listing, I'd like to commence today's proceedings as we present to you the official corporate videos of the Colombo Stock Exchange and Kapruka Holdings Limited.
Banking on the entrepreneurial spirit of the Sri Lankan people, the Colombo Stock Exchange builds on a share trading tradition that has existed in Sri Lanka for over a century. The business of share trading that commenced with plantation companies in 1896 continues to thrive today as a matured and vibrant stock market that mobilizes capital flows of over 300 billion rupees a year.
After 35 years of the stock exchange, we have leveraged on the combined experience and expertise of the industry to leapfrog on multiple fronts. As we look towards a possible re-rating of the market upwards, what is on the cards are major infrastructure developments, new product introductions, widening of the investor base, building a sustainable business model, and most importantly, working with the government and the regulator to position the CSE as a pivotal point for capital raising.
The CSE in its present form began in 1985 when the Colombo Securities Exchange Guarantee Limited was incorporated as a company limited by guarantee formed by 7 stockbroker firms. Today, as the operator of the stock market in Sri Lanka, we offer state-of-the-art pre-trade, trade and post-trade platforms. Our stakeholder base also includes the regulator, the Securities and Exchange Commission of Sri Lanka, 285 companies, over 700,000 local and foreign institutional and individual investors, 150 members of staff of the stock exchange, and other market intermediaries who go and make up the ecosystem of the Sri Lankan capital market.
Stock exchange operations around the globe have evolved significantly over the past 35 years, and so has the CSE. Our trading operations, which started with an open outcry system and investors visiting the public trading floor, today is delivered through a state-of-the-art multi-asset class automated trading system and a central depository system. To mark its 35th anniversary year, CSE has engaged in a drive to digitalize all stakeholder touchpoints in the stock market, enabling end-to-end connectivity electronically.
CSE over the years have invested in technology because we understand a robust, secure and cutting-edge technology is the backbone of a modern exchange. Today our IT systems and infrastructure supports a sustainable business model by securing processing transactions, generating accurate and real-time market data and offering speedy, convenient, reliable access to the market users. We have also focused strengthening our information and cybersecurity and building internal capabilities to support the market-wide digitization strategy.
Establishing regulatory readiness to navigate through a Sri Lankan business landscape that has changed substantially since CSE was first established has been a material focus.
Regulation must evolve to support the development plan or the development strategy of the exchange, and that is something that we have always followed. Compared to the inception of the Colombo Stock Exchange 35 years ago, we have been able to transform our listing framework to make it really attractive for issuers to come and raise capital by listing their securities through the Colombo Stock Exchange. And for this purpose, we have been able to diversify our listing platforms and listing boards, giving them various listing options to benefit. In terms of overall regulation, our focus has always been investor protection, creating and maintaining a fair and orderly market, and also facilitating capital formation.
As we celebrate 35 years, the CSE has taken decisive steps to diversify from a single product market to one that offers multiple products. Real estate investment trusts, the creation of an OTC market for repos on corporate debt, trading of gold products, and stock borrowing and lending are already in the process of being introduced. On the regulatory and governance fronts, the new SEC Act, we believe, will be an important development covering regulatory changes required to continue to safeguard investor rights.
The investor base in the Sri Lankan stock market has grown steadily over the last 35 years, and measures taken by CSE to increase the retail investor base and foreign investment fund flows rapidly to create a vibrant securities market have been focused and consistent. We have used multiple strategies to attract local and foreign investors. End-to-end digitalization is helping us to widen the local investor base. The Invest Sri Lanka series has been effective in taking the message of our stock market and opportunities globally, and in attracting foreign fund flows into the country. As we look ahead, CSE envisions to play a competitive role and be among the leading regional markets, harnessing our key strengths of the established infrastructure and the reputation built over 35 years.
Over the last 35 years, we have evolved, we have changed, we have developed. But one thing that remains unchanged is our focus on maintaining the integrity and the quality of the market.
We will continue our journey towards success, and we value our stakeholders whose confidence in us stood unaltered. I would like to recognize the role played by our listed companies, our investors, and all market intermediaries who placed confidence in the CSE over the past 35 years. I also recognize the untiring efforts of board members, present and past, as well as the CSE staff, including those who served previously.
Colombo's Stock Exchange, a transformative past, a vibrant future.
Kapruka is Sri Lanka's pioneer e-commerce enterprise founded in 2002. It is currently the largest locally owned e-commerce player in Sri Lanka. The company provides a highly profitable, unique and differentiated non-marketplace e-commerce business model with in-house last-mile delivery serving both local and expatriate Sri Lankan clientele. Kapruka stocks over 135,000 products, has partnerships with 300 plus renowned brands, and serves over 1.1 million expat clients. The company has over 32,000 square feet of warehouse space and over 100 plus delivery vehicles to support its operations. Kapruka differentiates itself from other generic e-commerce players by having a significant focus on its own brand products, including bakery goods, flowers, value-added fruits and vegetables which are manufactured in-house. Kapruka has also expanded its geographic presence to the United States, United Kingdom and Australia to support exports of Sri Lankan products to those markets. Kapruka has entered into e-distributor agreements with globally recognized Sri Lankan brands such as Dilmah, Samahan, Akbar Tea. Kapruka stocks and distributes their products online in foreign markets, where Kapruka has a geographic presence using popular e-commerce platforms such as Amazon, eBay and Etsy, with the products dispatched from Kapruka's global offices. In addition, Kapruka promotes cross-border shopping services to Sri Lanka using its Kapruka Global Shop service.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now to deliver the opening remarks of the ceremony, it's my pleasure to invite on stage the chairman of the Colombo Stock Exchange, Mr. Dumit Fernando.
Good morning, everyone. Dulit Herath, Chairman and CEO of Kapruka Holdings. Mr. Ray Abeywadana, Managing Director of Acuity Partners, the lead manager, as well as the rest of the Acuity team. Ms. Anuradha Herath, Director of Kapruka Holdings. Suresh Eranda, General Manager of Kapruka Holdings. Rajiv Bandaranayake, CEO of the Colombo Stock Exchange, and the rest of the management team, and dear friends. It is indeed a pleasure to welcome the first IPO of 2022 through the listing of Kapruka Holdings today. You all know we had a record year last year with 13 IPOs. The team here, I know, worked at breakneck speed to enable all of them, and a big congratulations to the team that has worked on them, as well as all the investment banks like Acuity who have worked to bring these, facilitate these listings on our exchange. Today is special not only because it is the first IPO of the year, it is also the first e-commerce company of significant size coming to the market, and I couldn't think of a better player than the leader in that segment to start what I hope is just the beginning of a lot more IT and e-commerce companies coming to market this year. Kapruka, of course, you heard a little bit about it, is not just the first large e-commerce company coming to the market. It is also truly a global Sri Lankan company, connecting 1.1 million international customers back to Sri Lanka. And it has provided significant employment through all of the supply partners in the country as well, so it has created a lot of social impact. So those are the kinds of companies that we love to see coming into this market. And on a personal note, I must say, there have been a couple of occasions when Kapruka has saved my marriage by reminding me that it was my wife's anniversary and that I should send flowers. I do thank Kapruka on a personal note for that as well. With that said, I will say that what we are accomplishing here with Kapruka and companies like this is unprecedented. Last year we had 120 billion rupees, or over 120 billion rupees of capital, new capital being raised through the Colombo Stock Exchange. We had 13 companies listing, as I mentioned, and we are on a record pace, obviously, in the equity market, and long may that hold. But in the meantime, I do invite Kapruka to enjoy the privileges of being a listed company, and we are very proud and happy to have you listed on the stock exchange. We have seen many what I would call pioneering companies come onto the Colombo Stock Exchange recently, and I would certainly put Kapruka in that bucket. So welcome. I hope and I wish you much success as a listed company, to you, yourself, your shareholders, management team, and all the market participants who I know will facilitate the successful launch of this IPO. As mentioned earlier, I think it was 6 times oversubscribed, continuing the record again of every single IPO being oversubscribed on the very first day since IPOs relaunched in 2021. So you're in good company, and I hope that you will also encourage many others to take this bold step. Thank you, welcome, and enjoy the day, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Fernando. I'd now like to cordially invite the Chairman and CEO of Kapruka Holdings Limited, Mr. Dulit Herath, onto the podium to address the gathering.
Thank you, everybody. And Rajiva, Dumit, and Ray, Jayanta. Excuse me for just calling you by first name, but I feel closer when I talk to you like that, and you guys are friends more than anything else. So 20 years ago, I remember when I managed to get the registration of kapruka.com domain name. So, imagine 20 years ago, getting a domain name itself was also a big deal. You have to fill in manual forms and all that, and you get almost a letter in the mail coming back saying, yeah, you got the domain. So I was jumping up and down, and Anu, my wife, knows, in that little apartment we stayed, she was like, why are you so excited about this? And so I bootstrapped this company. Today, if you look at the share structure, it's just me, 80%, and now the stock exchange, the public is going to own 20%. So that's the uniqueness. If I really have to pick a few uniquenesses about Kapruka, the top one is it is an entirely bootstrapped company. I have never raised a single rupee from any other investors. The company was built on its own profits. We only have about 200 million in debt. So for a sizable company like this, it's a marvelous story, which proves anybody, any entrepreneur, if they are determined and if they are committed, they can build companies like this in Sri Lanka. And the next uniqueness of Kapruka is it's a profitable company. Now, when you look at e-commerce companies globally, I mean, you will see massive top lines. But if you look at the bottom lines, even barely, actually very few can even claim EBITDA positivity. So Kapruka, from day one, I managed to market the no-go areas. That's why we were not selling iPhones. That's why we were not selling electronics. That's why we stayed out of certain categories, because being a bootstrap company, we were extremely bottom-line oriented. So I hope that the Kapruka story will encourage more and more tech companies to come to the market. And I was just telling Rajiv also that it will be wonderful to have a separate index one day, where at least 10 companies, tech index in the stock market. I must really thank the equity team for encouraging me to take this bold step. I had 3 choices to raise funds: either go to a rich guy and get him on the board and let him put money. Problem with that is I thought he will only think of exit from day one of coming on the board. Second option was to go and borrow. Third option was to go public. So managed to pick that third option. And it's at the end, I want to now, from today onwards, this has been a huge battle. I know there's a lot of stumble, the mountains I had to climb to come to this in the last 6 months. But from today onwards, I want to forget about the stock and completely focus on continuing to build the company. So I can do what I'm good at doing. I'm not good at stock market. I must claim I have not bought a single share. I'm not a trader. I don't understand it even. I'm not good at it. But I'm good at building companies. So I'll go back and do what I'm good at doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Herath. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to proceed on to opening the market for today. And to do the honors, I'd like to invite the following individuals on stage. From Kapruka Holdings Limited, Chairman and CEO, Mr. Dulit Herath, Director, Ms. Anuradha Herath, General Manager, Mr. Suresh Eranda. From Equity Partners Private Limited, Managing Director and Director of Colombo Stock Exchange, Mr. Ray Abewardana, Director Research, Mr. Shehan Kure, Consultant Corporate Finance, Ms. Avanti Disanaika, Associate Corporate Finance, Ms. Hansini Badage. From the Colombo Stock Exchange, Chairman, Mr. Dumit Fernando, Director, Mr. Jayanta Fernando, and Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Rajiv Bandaranaika. Thank you, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, with that, we have come to the end of today's market opening ceremony organized to celebrate this momentous occasion of listing the shares of Kapruka Holdings Limited on the Colombo Stock Exchange. While thanking all our distinguished guests for their valuable time and, of course, their ardent participation, let me wish all of you a pleasant day. Thank you.